All right, we're live.
Hello, everybody. I'm RockerMike. This is Rob Rossi. This is the RockerMike and Rob Present show. First thing I want to do is take this fucking mask off. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, want to thank everybody for watching. And we got a very special guest on today. In fact, she's so special, her last name is actually Guest.
Yeah.
Okay. And you might have seen her. Her video has gone viral on Facebook. I saw it a few weeks ago. I was blown away by it. Her little song called Fuck Your Feelings. All right. And you got some other great songs, which we're all going to talk about. Okay.
Shitty apartment to me. It's
Right.
New York City.
Bunch of good songs. But I got to say, when Fuck Your Feelings, when it showed up on my Facebook page, I just, I spit my coffee out watching it. I was cracking up. Okay. And, I was like, I got to have this girl on the show.
That's the first thing.
And our when I looked at it, it didn't have your name, Leigh. Okay. I didn't know your name. So I posted it and I said, I got to have this girl on the show. Within minutes, people reposted it, shared it. They all texted me. They said, you got to have her on the show. He texts me. He's like, did you see this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm the one that put it up, man. He's like, we got to have her on. So I did a Google search, and I did a little Google search, and I found you, and you got back to me, and it was fantastic, right? Amazing social media.
You seem like my kind of person.
Oh yeah, no, we knew you were all kind of girl.
You're conservative and drops a lot of swear words. I'm like, you guys are my people.
But it's very interesting. I mean, that song "Fuck Your Feelings" is about millennials, all right? And we, since the beginning of our shows, we've always shit on millennials, okay? A lot of them deserve it. The Gen Zs as well, they're no better, okay? And but you're actually a millennial, right?
Yeah, I was born at kind of the beginning of the millennials, but yes, I am a millennial.
Okay. But you got a different mindset.
I do. It took me a while to get to the mindset I have. I grew up in California, and I am a reformed liberal. I was the 18-year-old girl that went to anti-Bush peace protests and handed out paper cranes. And I thought that the rest of the country was ignorant and racist because there's a lot of that Kool-Aid going around in California, and the media just sort of brainwashes you into thinking that. And then I moved to Montana in my early 20s and realized that all of the people that I thought were hateful and racist and dumb were actually the best people I'd ever met in my life. And kind of opened my eyes and made me realize that I had been the ignorant one, and started paying attention a little bit more to things and realized that, somebody should have bitch slapped me back then and said, fuck you. I needed my song back then.
Well, look, it's never too late to come around to see the light. Okay. Right. That's all good. I'm old enough to remember when California was a red state. That's how I am. Okay. Right. And it shocks me. I mean, I spent some time there. God, it's almost 30 years ago, early 90s. And I was up in the Northern California area, Santa Cruz Mountains. I was staying for a summer, and I hung out in Frisco. I hung out in Haight-Ashbury. I didn't fit in whatsoever. I was a New York Lower East Side punk rock kid. I had black hair down to here. I had big platform Converse shoes. They thought I was a rock star walking down Haight-Ashbury, and I'm like, no, I'm just me. I did not fit in. But even then, I sense that California is a little crazy, okay, the way people are.
It's gotten more crazy. It wasn't that crazy growing up for me.
Yeah. Is it just because, it's some people, they go farther in one direction because they're being pushed that way in reaction to what's going on in the country. Do you think that California got even more radical in the last 3-4 years because of Trump?
I think that it has gotten more radical when Trump got elected, but I think it's sort of been on that path for a while. I think that and I don't want to say it's just about Californians, but I think that there's this mentality, this elitist mentality of we know what's best. We are the most open-minded, accepting people, so we must be the most educated people. We must know more than everyone else. And I know that, like, for me, I grew up in this bubble where that was just sort of what I was surrounded by. And when I actually left and traveled this country, I've been to like 35 states now. I played music in most of them. But like when I actually got out and saw the way the rest of the country lived, it's hard to hate people or to judge people when you actually sit down and talk to them and you meet them. Kind of opens up your eyes to, when you're in a bubble, it's hard to see outside of the bubble. So you got to get outside of that bubble and see the rest of this country, you know?
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, the East and the West Coasts have this bubble where they look at the rest of the country as, you know, flyover states.
Right.
And, you know, it's really, it's not fair. It's not right. They, you know, everybody has a say.
Well,
and,
I like being in a flyover state now because I'm like, keep flying over. Keep flying.
You're in Montana, right?
Yeah, I'm in Montana, which is growing like crazy. But the middle of America, the flyover states in the back of the airplane, those are like my people. So I'm like, you know, go ahead and think that we're just a bunch of stupid racists. Like, just keep flying over. It's fine.
That's what the media puts out there. And I've spent some time in Middle America. I've been to Nebraska. I've been to Missouri. Okay, and I didn't find people like that. You know,
I've been to Nashville, I've been to Jacksonville, I've been to a bunch of places, and I get treated the same everywhere. Like
shit.
If you're an asshole, they'll tell you what, right, Rob? But if you're cool, they'll be like, "Hey, good job."
Yeah. No, I love that. You know what? I go everywhere with an open mind, and you know what? At the end of the day, I'm a drunk. I like to get fucked up. I like to drink. I like to have a good time, and that's the way. You know what? That's the way life is. I don't care if you're black, orange, green, but this new mentality that, oh my God, these people are so fucking stupid. People have been dumbed down so long because there's too much. Again, we're doing social media, but there's too much social media. There's too much shit out there. Like 20 years ago, this fruit would have been over in like 2 days. That was social media. People just panic.
Let me ask you now. You're in Montana. What's the coronavirus situation now? Seriously, what is it? I mean, do you have a lot of cases or no?
You know, we actually have been on the rise in the last month, and I know that within the last few weeks, I think we're sort of getting to our peak. We had a lot of cases in the spring, but then it went down, and I think that a lot of people have come here thinking that there's no coronavirus cases, so it's actually gone up here. Montanans are interesting because you go into a store, half the people wear masks, half the people don't. Montanans just don't want to be told what to do.
Right.
Which I can appreciate. I'm sort of the same way. I'm like, I respect your viewpoint. This is mine. I'll leave you alone. Leave me alone. And maybe we'll have a beer later at the bar.
Right.
Perfect.
I'm exactly the same way. But if, you know, here what happens is, everybody's wearing masks everywhere here. It's mandated, basically. You know, I can't get on the subway without a mask or I risk getting a ticket.
Can you cheat and have your little nose pop out?
I mean, people, if you don't wear it right, they look at you, or if you don't have one on, they look at you like you got the plague. Okay, and even on the street where it's like impossible to get the virus on the street. Okay, I mean, unless somebody sneezes in your face. Okay, I mean, if you don't have a mask on, people, hey, you don't have a mask on. There's been actual fights about that. On the street with people being told, hey, put a mask on, and somebody goes, fuck you, I'm not putting a mask on. People have gotten into fights here.
Which is totally rational. Hey, you might give me a disease because you don't have a mask on, so let me get really close.
Yeah, let me put my hands on you.
And then touch each other.
All right, let's exchange some blood on each other, and we won't get sick like that.
That's usually what I do. I just go up to strangers and lick their face.
Ooh.
Kind of a hobby of mine.
Oh
man, I'll be thinking about that later.
Well, thanks.
I really want to lick some stranger's face because I don't like too many people myself.
I don't want to lick nobody's face.
I have problems looking at my face in the mirror. But you know what's funny? So we had this guest on the show that was a Karen, that she taped people. She wanted to go to the store, and this guy told her you can't come in because he didn't want to wear the mask. What was her name? Shirley
Lewis.
Shirley Lewis, and she was the first Karen that went viral. and she's great. We had her as a guest, and we talked to her. She was fantastic. She said this whole
they
thing.
they were calling her a Karen.
She
wasn't a Karen.
The
Okay?
guy-
because she wasn't wearing a mask.
No, she didn't want to wear a mask. She said it's not the law. I don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
This was in California, okay?
Okay.
And I think Northern California. And she went into a department store and said, you know, I don't have to wear a mask. And the person came out and gave her a thing to do, and she filmed it. And then, you know, the media mafia went after her, okay? And she got in trouble, and it went viral, and they played it like she was the bad person.
No, she wasn't the bad person.
So
I've been called a Karen because of my song.
No, you're not a Karen.
You're not
I've
a
been
Karen.
called a Karen, but actually I'm like in this
no.
wonderful world of hate mail, and I have been called a see you next Tuesday. I've been called a Karen. I've been called uneducated. I've been called racist and white privilege, a supremacist.
And look, anybody.
I'm actually just waiting for people to get more creative, though, because right now everybody's repeating the same names.
It's like an
at
echo
least call
chamber.
me something super creative.
It's like being in an echo chamber. You hear white supremacy, racist, white supremacist, racist.
You know what? It's the
over and over.
narrative. If you don't agree with me, you're a racist. This is the new narrative that this country. I don't understand where the fuck people got this shit.
Right.
This is total bullshit. You know what? I can tell you, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate everybody, including myself. If you're gonna hate everybody.
He's so racist, he hates himself.
Yeah, that's racist. That you want to talk about hate?
When I met this guy years ago, that's one of the first things he said to me. He's like, "I'm so fucking racist. I hate myself."
Because people just like to throw the word race on. You're a racist.
Yeah.
You're a racist.
Well, and when you hear it enough times, when people call you that enough times, like for a long time, I was actually kind of careful about what I said and what I posted, which is why I actually didn't share the "Fuck Your Feelings" video. I wrote it and sang it at Sturgis for a bunch of drunken bikers. And
That's awesome.
I didn't actually share the video myself because I was still a little bit too scared of the repercussions because I have a following in California. Not much anymore, but I did.
I'm sure you do somewhat.
No, I do.
Yeah.
There's still actually surprisingly a lot of people that I know that have a lot of moderate Democrats, I think, have sort of been pushed over the edge and have become moderate Republicans because of everything going on. But yeah, I didn't actually share that video on my own page because I was too scared of the repercussions. Someone else did. And then once people figured out who I was and I got flooded with all this hate mail and I got death threats, I got all sorts of nasty comments, and then after a while I was like, you know what, y'all have called me a racist so many times that I don't fucking care anymore. Now I'm just gonna put all of my opinions out there because you guys have already called me this so many times that why am I gonna try to appeal to you?
You know, growing up, okay, and I'm older than everybody right here, okay, the word racist, you never heard it, okay. What you used to hear was prejudiced, okay. And that's really the correct word.
Yeah, prejudice.
Okay?
That's the word. Because
you're prejudging something. You're prejudiced. Okay.
Right.
Now we prejudge every day. Okay. It's human nature. When I walk down the street, if I'm walking on the Lower East Side here, and I see 5 people in front of me on the sidewalk fighting, you know, or a heated argument, I'm gonna walk to the other side of the street. All right. Guess why? Because I'm prejudging. All right? I'm prejudging the situation so I don't get killed. Okay?
Right.
This is stuff that we do. It's called street smarts. Okay? We all have it. All right? Now, they throw that word racist around like it's candy. Like it doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, when I grew up, the KKK was racist. Hitler was racist. That stuff. Okay? That's racism. All right? The stuff that you see today, it's not really racism, all right? It's more like stupid behavior or prejudiced behavior, all right? I'm going to call it like it is because they've dumbed down that word racist to mean basically I don't agree with you, so now you're a racist.
Yeah.
All right. And it's said that that's actually happened because
they're destroying people's lives with it. You know, good people who aren't racist are getting their lives destroyed, which is how they're getting people to shut up. It's the cancel
Look how much
culture.
corporations, Lee, are scared of that. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Look how much big corporations are giving in to these radical people that they use race as a, you know, a reason to cause chaos, and it's got nothing to do with race. Okay.
You know, me as a guinea dummy in a can.
Yeah. He's a Dominican Italian.
Guinea dummy in a can, which is
Dominican.
It's an Dominican. That's where I get the name Rob Rossi. When I say this to people, I meet people, they're like, they just looked at me with this eye like,
I would love to just sit around and pass a bottle of whiskey back and forth with you. I bet you're hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look.
I shit on. I'm a bartender, so I shit on people all day. I'm shitting on people.
When he gets in rare form sometimes. I mean, people walk out. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Fuck their feelings.
Yeah, fuck your feelings.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why we love that song. Okay, we love that song.
I gotta tell you, when I saw it. Then I started watching you on the YouTube. You got some songs. I'm like, what got you into music? What made you play a guitar and get into this and start playing? Is that something you wanted to do all your life? Were you like young and just picked the? Because you look like you're self-learned. You look like you taught yourself how to play the guitar.
I did. Yeah, I played music when I was a kid, but I always hated like practicing. I don't like sitting and doing exercises. It's boring. So I used to sit at the piano and I'd write songs. Yeah, and then as soon as my mom did what good moms do and put me into like music lessons, I hated it because all of a sudden I couldn't just be creative. I had to like practice. And I sort of found music again 9 years ago. I was pissed off at a ex-boyfriend, so I bought a one-way plane ticket to Hawaii, and I started playing the ukulele, and then I started playing the guitar. And the funny songs kind of just came out of nowhere. I wrote Shitty Apartment was the first one I wrote, and it was so popular with me just being brutally honest over a guitar rhythm that I started kind of doing more of the funny stuff.
I love Shitty Apartment because as a bartender, I appreciate that so much. I wish I could put that on the CD when I get really horrible customer and just play that.
Wow. Maybe when all this is done, you need to come to New York City and play in our bar.
I would love that.
All right. And
will they chase me out with like
no. We'll protect you.
Not with my crowd.
Not with our crowd. No. We have a very eclectic crowd. Okay, you got some people that are diehard liberals, but they love us anyway. You know.
I'm a bartender in New York, and when people ask to like, there was a girl the other day. She started talking some shit, and I'm like, you know what? I voted for Trump and walked away. And I ruined her whole day, probably.
And it's true, and it does ruin their whole day. If you tell them that, it's like they got told their grandmother died.
Well, especially for you, Rob. What's your ethnicity?
Oh, I'm Dominican Italian. Rob Rossi.
Dominican and Italian. Okay.
I'm raised and born in Hell's Kitchen, New York. Like I'm like a native New Yorker, and I grew up with a bunch of Irish fresh off the boat. So these guys, I had Spanish people, I had Irish people, Italian people to be honest. I don't know what language I'm gonna talk. What the fuck's going on here? I was so confused as a kid. I had grandma talking to me in Spanish. I had my mother talking to me in English. I had my dad talking to me in Italian, and then I had some guy talking to me in that Irish bro, whatever and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I'm all fucked up in the head.
Well, and I bet too, when people find out that you voted for Trump, it gives them that little extra element of surprise because you are, have Dominican descent and everybody just assumes it's all of us whiteys that like Trump. So
listen, a lot of Hispanics like Trump.
The only surprise, like I told people, the only reason I'm a registered Democrat in New York City is because if I'm not, I can't vote for any election. It's like being an independent. You can't vote. But I'm the guy that I go there, I'm going to vote for the less weaker candidate. So then I can go and then vote for the real election, vote for the real candidate.
He stays a Democrat to fuck up the Democrats.
So which Democrat did you vote for in the primaries? I got to ask, if you don't mind me asking.
Jesus Christ. I think I just wrote myself in. Because I can't do it. Dude, these people are trash. That's all I can say.
Are you as excited about the debates as I am tonight?
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you. I'm sorry. I mean, I did a so for the first debate, I did a shot contest.
Yeah.
So I put China. One of the words was China for Trump. Trump said China 7 times.
You had to do a shot every time he said China.
And I had law enforcement for Biden, but he didn't say. If Trump would have said law enforcement, I probably would have died.
Yeah.
Like I had like people with me passing out the ball after the debate.
If Biden said, "Come on, man," you had to do 2 shots.
Oh yeah, come on, man, 2 shots. Yeah.
And every time Biden tried to sniff somebody, you had to do 3 shots.
Yeah.
So what are we drinking for tonight then? So every time Kamala says racist, are we drinking?
Oh yeah. Well, that'll be like it's got to be 1 shot because she's gonna say it 50 times. You'll be dead.
That's
shots.
I'm gonna be drunk tonight if that's the case.
You have to drink like a whole bottle of Jack Daniels if Mike Pence says Willie Brown.
Dude, I think tonight. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what I think? I think if you put the word racist, I think tomorrow I will be so drunk that I can go to the Chinese restaurant and the guy will talk to me in Chinese because that's the way my eyes are gonna look. I will be that fucked up.
So can we because Mike, I've got your phone number. Rob, I don't have yours, but we can all connect through Mike. Can we do a video of how drunk we are at the end of the night if every time we hear the word racist,
that might be horrible.
But it might be too much.
Let's do it. I'm going to send y'all some drunken videos.
Right. I mean, I won't make it into work tomorrow, but it'll be over all the internet and they'll know why.
Blame it on me. Be like, sorry I'm late to work. The fuck your feelings, girl. Mamie did it.
I'll be in the hospital saying something happened, but I drank myself to death.
Dude, the best thing, I live like a few blocks from my job, and I'm always there like 5 minutes on time because there's no reason for me to go.
I gotta take the fucking train. I don't have that luxury.
So let's talk more about you. Let's know more about you. Your little because you got a few songs. Like I love the Pickleback song with a shot of Jameson. It's a great song. Yeah. I love the coronavirus TP crisis.
That was hilarious. Coronavirus TP crisis. Okay.
I wrote that song like before stuff shut down. It was like right in the middle of COVID. And you know what's funny is I actually have only performed that song like once since then because I was so sick of all the coronavirus stuff. I was like, I'm not even playing this song.
You know what was a very sexy song, Leigh? Fresh Meat.
The Fresh Meat was very funny. Fresh Meat was very funny.
I was like, oh, it's a hot song.
So what? Were you at the? Do you go to the Keys at that point?
You mentioned the Keys a lot in your music. You go down to the Florida Keys.
Yeah, so I was spending my winters in the Keys and my summers in Montana.
Wow.
I was down in the Keys up until when I left to play at Sturgis for the bike rally, which is when I wrote "Fuck Your Feelings" and when that video went viral. That was when I left the Keys. But I did a whole Florida Keys album to sell down there. Down in the Keys, you hear a lot of cheesy trop rock.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the beach drinking margaritas, and there's white sand and girls in bikinis, and there's sunsets. Like, count how many times you hear sunset on the radio down there. So I wanted to write a song of Florida Keys album, or like an album of Florida Keys songs that sort of talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly, but in a less cheesy, islandy sort of way.
That's great.
So I've got like the song about being fresh meat down there. I've got the song about this tree growing out of the 7 Mile Bridge. I've got a song about the no-see-ums. I have a song that makes fun of trop rock music. So it's kind of all Keys inspired.
Let me ask you something. You mentioned Sturgis a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
You wrote "Fuck Your Feelings," right? You said.
Yeah, I wanted to write a song about millennials and Generation Zers, and then I saw this guy who had a Trump shirt on that was flipping the bird, and it said "Fuck Your Feelings," and I was like, "Thank you, Trump, for having the best campaign slogans ever." And I wrote the song.
But what I want to ask you is, since Sturgis happened this year, they keep saying, or they were saying for a while in the media that it was like a super spreader for the coronavirus. Do you believe that?
No.
You were there, right?
Yeah, no, I heard it was like 100 cases or something like that. You're gonna get 100 cases of anything if you put enough drunk people in a group, whether it's
well, I mean,
chlamydia,
how many people go to Sturgis, Leigh? It's got to be 100,000.
It's 250,000 people went this year.
More than that, right?
There was a lot. It was the 80th anniversary, so I heard someone say 250,000, but I also heard 700,000.
Okay, so do the math, okay? 250,000 people. Let's say 200,000. Okay, 200,000 people went. You said there were 100 cases?
That's what I heard.
All
I
right.
heard 75 and I heard 125. So we'll
That's more people probably got the clap there.
That's what I'm saying. More people got chlamydia.
Then got the coronavirus.
You know what? Fuck that. More people got shot in Brooklyn than
More people got shot in Brooklyn this year than at Sturgis. Yeah. Fucking
What I thought was hilarious was that Antifa showed up, and the whole week they were waiting for it.
I heard about that.
There was like a couple buses spotted in like Sioux Falls, so they knew Antifa was coming, and all of the bikers were like ready for it. They're like, "We're ready for these fuckers to show up." So they show up the very last day, which is like a lot of people had already left.
Right.
Only like 10 of them. And the hilarious part about it was that all of those bikers were ready to beat them to a bloody pulp, and the only thing that saved them was the police.
Of course, and they hate the police.
I saw one video where a biker was like, "Let me just punch him once," and the cop was like, "No, sorry, you can't." And the guy was like, "But you know you want to let me," and the cop was like, "Yeah, but I can't." So I mean, they were like protesting the cops, and then the cops saved all of their sad, pathetic lives. It was pretty entertaining.
Let me ask you this. You said you were a reformed liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You went to anti-Bush rallies back in the day. When did you start to? I mean, did you vote for Trump in 2016? Were you a supporter, or did this just start recently?
So I did not vote in 2016. It was the first presidential election since I've been of age that I did not vote. I could not stand to vote for Hillary because I could tell how crooked she was. And at the time, I was starting to become kind of fiscally a Republican, but I was still sort of holding on to some of the Democratic beliefs. And within the last couple of years, I started to really see how much the media was slamming him. And I'd watch him give a speech, and then I'd see the media cut it up and like twist what he had said. And I just started to sort of realize, okay, well, this isn't right. Like they're twisting things. So I started paying more attention. And what completely pushed me over the edge was all of the COVID stuff. When I started seeing how they were using a pandemic for political gains.
It's obvious.
It's ridiculous.
That was what really pushed me over the edge. I was already at the point where I supported Trump, but what made me completely lose faith in the Democratic Party altogether was the fact that they've been taken over by these extremists that used a pandemic to get what they wanted, used selective, would only report certain stories to make America seem racist. They started condoning looting and rioting and all of these things, and I was just scared for America. That was when my eyes sort of opened, and I realized
I'm going to bring a weird point up. Let's talk about cities. So New York City, Democratic, shit. Chicago, Democratic, shit.
Detroit,
Democratic, shit. Both
Minneapolis,
Indianapolis, shit. Seattle, Portland, shit. And they're the one that got these tough laws because we got to shut down because this is the most deadliest virus that ever happened to mankind. How many people? 60 million people? No, it killed a fucking million people.
Not even.
This is, you know what's my biggest fucking issue with this shit? The people that are bitching are the people that never had a social life, people that had no friends. You people stay home, shut the fuck up, don't come out, order your fucking Amazon, and shut the fuck up. Very simple.
Amazon got rich with all this, right? Didn't Jeff Bezos clean house with everybody
mom
sitting
and pops
home
had
ordering
to
this?
close and big corporations could
You know what this was? This was the Amazon flu. Amazon, that's what I call it. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Amazon flu. Who made more money?
You've said that before.
I'm too scared to go out. I got to order my Amazon. And people took the bait and switch because people are just uneducated. People are not smart enough. People got, you know what? Everybody knows the answer now because everybody got a fucking smartphone. Why don't you find out why that was the answer? There's a whole backstory because why that's the answer. No, these idiots that, you know what? You're wrong. Let me look at. No, you're a fucking idiot. Right. You don't know the real answer. The only reason you know the answer because you fucking have your phone on you. Why don't you try to give me the answer without using your phone, you fucking asshole? I'm just done with the whole thing. I'm fed up.
Well, and I know that, I know a lot of people who own businesses in California and cannot get people to go back to work because that state's still it's not open all the way yet. And I have friends in other states as well. I'm not going to call any of them out, but they're still on unemployment. They're still collecting, and they won't work a job unless it's either one under the table or they won't go back at all because they're like, well, I just want to collect unemployment. And I'm like, great. So all of us that are still working, I didn't collect unemployment at all during this whole thing.
Right.
I wrote a new song every single day for the entire 7 weeks I was off, and did virtual happy hours and like took tips for writing a song every day. And that was what I did because I didn't collect unemployment. And so I'm like, congratulations, you're sitting at home and you won't go back to work when you have a job. And so the rest of us that are working can pay for you to sit on your ass. Like,
you know what's funny?
Well done, America.
New York City has a problem. There's not enough bartender. Places are open up, but there's a lot of bartenders that don't want to
come back. They're afraid. Yep.
It's crazy.
I don't think they're really afraid. I know plenty of people that are like, oh, I don't want to go back because of COVID, but really they just don't want to work.
Well, there are people like that. Now, let me tell you, I work for Verizon, okay? I've been a repairman for almost 25 years.
You want another beer?
Yeah. And I've been working...
Grab me one too? Just kidding.
What's that, dear?
I said, why don't you grab me one too, Rob? And then I was...
Yeah, we'll say... Yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is I've been working through this whole thing, okay? I was an essential worker. I was riding the trains when there was nobody coming to work, okay? And I was in people's apartments. I was fixing their phones. I was, and I didn't get it.
Right.
I didn't get it. You know what? I haven't worn a pair of gloves all year, okay? I wear a mask because I have to, because they make a big deal about it, okay?
Right.
But I haven't worn gloves. I've been in people's apartments. I've shook hands with people, okay? And I was riding trains when it was just me and homeless people. Okay, all year. And then they got smart. They started disinfecting the trains at night. I don't know if you're aware, but like the subway system's always 24 hours a day. And it hasn't been most of the year because they changed it for the first time in history because they started scrubbing the trains down at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, but until they did that, I was riding filthy trains and I get it. So either I've got my 51 years on the planet, either I've got some kind of super immune system or this fucking thing is not as serious as they're saying.
You know what I can tell you?
I can only go by what I know.
Yeah.
Right.
So the bar that I work at closed down for 9 weeks. I went upstate.
Yeah.
And everything was free. There was no mask wearing. You could get a gun to whoever you want, have a good time. It was wonderful. Upstate New York is wonderful. It's totally red because everybody's buying more guns than you ever think. People are buying guns. Buy your guns. It is buy as many guns as possible because when the shit hit the fan, you want to get out of the city and take out as many people as possible because these people are idiots. I'm just saying, I'm not a gun guy, but...
no, I'm stocking up on ammo, so I'm not going to judge you for it.
So I'm like, you know what? Because now this is the mentality. Go upstate. You can get as many guns as you want, get as much as you want. You have a house, so the owner of the bar was like, come up. So we went up, hanged out, cutting wood, spent like 9 weeks there, eating, playing music, had a great time. Then you come back to the shithole, the cesspool, when everything was barricaded, everything was all fucked up.
They're rioting.
Like, you know what? My dad thinks my dad has not wear a mask during this whole thing. He just does not give a fuck. He said, this is fake. And then my mother's in the room hiding. My mother's the total opposite of my dad.
They've managed to totally make the population in this country hysterical.
Yeah.
All right. And they want to create chaos because they want this election to go a certain way. All right. They want to knock Trump out because for the first time in American history or in the last 100 years, you have a president that's actually a wrench.
He's a wrench to the system.
He's a monkey wrench in the system. Right. That's what Rob's saying. And he is. Okay. He's the guy who's tried to keep all his campaign promises. None of them ever do that. Okay. He fixed the economy. He doesn't care. He doesn't play the race card. He doesn't care about identity politics and crap like that. Okay. He cares about the regular people. I've known Trump. Both of us have known Trump for 40 years. He's been around our whole lives. All right. The guy is not a racist. You may think he's a clown, but you know, the thing is he's getting shit done.
You know what the part?
I
Nobody.
love that he still calls it the Chinese virus, even though
It's
everyone.
hilarious.
He's like,
That's
"Fuck
hilarious.
you guys! It came from China."
Yeah.
What up? Think about it in the 70s. They called it the Hong Kong flu.
Right.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the
that
70s,
too.
it was the Hong Kong flu, which was
I'm
like.
taking you guys on a walk with me because I'm gonna try to find my headphones so I can get rid of whatever this feedback issue is we're having.
Okay. Okay.
We got you. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
She got you. Good guess. I like it.
Fantastic.
She told good stuff.
Yeah, it's so I got something down in the Keys like last winter, probably in end of November, December, and into January. All of us in the Keys got really sick, which it's a bunch of islands, so you're basically like in a petri dish.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a children's book, so I was reading my children's book to a bunch of the kids, and all the kids were coughing. The teachers were coughing. Everybody was sick, and one of the kids came up to me and coughed like right in my face, and I could feel spit all over my face. And the next day, I had a really high fever. I had flu-like symptoms, and then I got a really bad cough that lasted for like 3 weeks. My doctor said, "We don't know what it is that's going around. A bunch of people have it. It's not the flu, but it's another virus." And I coughed and we were all sick, but there wasn't this mass hysteria. All of us got it. All of us stayed home for a week. We all went back to work and life resumed as normal. But then they shut the Keys down in March because of the COVID scare and nobody was sick. It was like the wave had already swept through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened in New York.
Yeah. A lot of I came down with something the end of January. I know a lot of people that felt something in December, in January. I think this disease was here. The CDC has already admitted that they screwed up in the early testing and the early, where they became aware of it. They were looking at different. They said they were looking at the wrong symptoms, the wrong types of viruses in the very beginning, and that I think it was here earlier. I think it dropped in here probably November, December.
Yeah, November never dropped. Because I can tell you, sir, you know what's the funny thing? When Trump closed the border to China, what's the first thing they say? He's a racist.
He's a racist. Yeah.
He's not a racist. If he didn't do that, it probably would have been a lot worse.
Remember Nancy Pelosi?
Well, and then they say he didn't handle it right. It's like, okay, Biden, well, how would you have handled it? Please tell us.
He wasn't doing anything. Nancy Pelosi went through Chinatown in San Francisco and said, yeah, you're with us. Come with us. We love you. Blah, 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 blah. Trump's a racist. Blah, blah. We're not going to shut you down. But now they say, oh, why didn't you do anything? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Can I tell you an amazing story about Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah,
My sister was shopping at Whole Foods a while back in California. That's where she lives. And this woman is in front of her in the express line at Whole Foods and has like 50 items in the express line and is talking on her cell phone the whole time and holding up the whole line. So finally my sister's like, "Excuse me, you have way more than 50 or way more than 15 items. You're on your phone, you're holding up the line. Hurry the hell up." And she looked at her and was like, "Do you know who I am?" And my sister's like, "I don't care who you are. You're rude. You're on your phone and you're clearly in the wrong line." And then when she left, everyone was like, "Yeah, that was Nancy Pelosi."
Wow. Oh, my God. I don't know how she didn't recognize her.
She just was like, "I don't care who you are."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Nancy Pelosi do what I say, not what I do, because,
right.
She went to the hair salon. She wasn't supposed to do that. And no one else in San Francisco could go. Okay. And she went, got an appointment, got filmed. And now I heard the woman went out of business.
I heard Nancy Pelosi was suing her. I don't know whether she did.
I heard that woman went underground or something.
What is? See you next Tuesday.
Exactly.
You want to hear something funny? So after I came back from upstate, I went to my doctor and I tested positive for the antivirus. And my doctor say, "Do you feel anything?" The antibody. Whatever the fuck it is, antibody, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
That's what you're talking about.
So what happened? And the doctor say, "Do you have diarrhea? Do you have a fever? Do you?"
That's every day.
I said, "Dude, that's Tuesday. That's Tuesday for me. It's called a hangover, you son of a bitch."
What are you talking about?
You wake up with a fever, you're dehydrated. a hangover. The guy looked at me like,
Well, another day at the International.
I say, I want to put the swab up my nose.
Please.
Hey, dude, I have worse thing up my nose. Just fucking put the swab up there. You fucking idiot. I was like angry when I took this test. These people are idiots.
Did you hear that story? There was a I don't know if I think it was a guy. They did that swab so far up his nose they punctured his brain.
I heard about
You heard
that.
about that?
Oh my god!
Yeah, there's a membrane or something
That's
up there,
savage.
and they poked it.
That's actually what I have. It's not even a brain. I just have a membrane.
I had a membrane before the brain, but yeah.
It's just membrane.
So hey, but let's get back to what we're here for. We're
Yes.
here for your amazing music. Do you have a song for us? Is there something you can play for us?
Can you play? Look, can you play a couple of songs?
Yeah, I'll play a couple songs.
All right.
I'm gonna take these off because I don't know how it goes with the song. Yeah.
Oh yeah, America.
I love America.
You know
I
what's
do.
funny? Eddie Van Halen just died, and so also Johnny Nash died.
Yeah.
Oh.
You heard Eddie Van Halen died, right?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Johnny Nash.
And Johnny Nash, the old like sort of reggae Caribbean guy, he died, but he was 80 years old.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen died. He was 65 yesterday.
Oh, geez, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen. Come on. Well, they had. I only believe in one Van Halen, the one with David Lee.
David Lee Roth.
The other motherfucker, I don't know who those guys are.
I don't care about Sammy Hagar. He sucks. I like Eddie with David Lee
I
Roth.
feel like making it to 65 as a rock star is pretty impressive.
Well, you're right. Anybody battled throat cancer for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of sad.
Hey, you know what? Sammy Hagar had the coronavirus. You want to wear a match where he sings.
What do you got for us, Leigh?
What do you guys want a funny song? Do you want me to play Shitty Apartment?
Sure.
I have another fuck song.
Play whatever song you want. It's
you
It's you right now. This is
your show.
This is the Leigh Guest show right now. Play whatever the fuck you want.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play. I have a new album coming out here in the next couple months that I'm really excited about. And since we've been talking about guns, I'm gonna play a song that's gonna be on that album. I am a huge proponent of the Second Amendment. I think it's very important to not give up your rights to protect yourself, especially against your government.
Yeah, but so once you got all that information, send it to Mike. I'll put it in the link. I'm sure people know what stuff coming out. Anytime something new, send it to us, and I'll put it in the link with your show on it.
Oh, awesome! Cool. Okay. So yeah, this song's called "Not a Pepper Spray Girl."
Pepper Spray Girl. I like it already.
Yeah.
If you think you're getting through my door tonight, you better ask yourself one question. Just how lucky do you feel? And if you don't, you should change directions. I got 1,000 rounds on my shelf. Ain't no man in this bed. I protect myself. This is my house. It's how it's done in country girls. Don't dial 911. Yeah, don't dial 911. You can get to know my favorite finger. You can bet your ass I'll pull the trigger. I'll come back fighting in a black powder world. 'Cause I'm not a pepper spray girl.
Wow. Hey, people sharing so far.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, just knock before you come in.
I like that song.
I like that.
I wouldn't want to run into you in a dark alley because you might shoot my ass.
Say that again?
I don't want to get shot. And she got a lot of ammo.
I'm not going down without a fight. I'm gonna practice my Second Amendment right. Take my advice, don't dismiss. I'm a hell of a shot, I don't miss. Don't come creeping around in the night, 'cause I'll take what's yours if you take what's mine. This is my house, it's how it's done, and country girls don't dial 911. Yeah, don't dial 911. You can get to know my favorite finger. You can bet your ass I'll pull the trigger. I'll come back fighting in a black battle world, 'cause I'm not a pepper spray girl.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I don't dial 911. You got one chance to turn back around. Take one more step and I'll take you down. I stand my ground, I don't run, and this country girl don't dial 911.
All right. All right.
I don't dial 911.
I love this shit. You got like
Thank
another
you.
soul in you, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got that like hardcore soul in you when you're singing. It's like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Yeah.
Now, we're all about getting lumped up, as you know.
You're all about what?
We're all about getting lumped up.
Getting drunk up.
Getting lumped up.
Getting
That's
drunk.
what we do. Okay. Now,
Instead of getting fucked up, we say getting lumped
right,
up.
instead
Which
of saying
means
getting drunk, it's getting lumped up. Okay. You got a song. I don't know if you could do it now, but I loved it when I heard it. It's called Pickleback.
I love that song.
I can do that one. That
Yeah.
one's also gonna be on my
It's about getting lumped up.
And it's about Jameson,
It's
which I
about-
drink a lot.
You mentioned Jameson. That's our drink.
Will you guys do a shot of Jameson tonight, and I'll do a shot of Jameson? I'll cheer.
I don't have
We
any
don't have
Jameson.
Jameson. Tequila.
I have tequila because I drank all the Jameson in the bar.
Oh,
What are you gonna
if
do?
I had Jameson, I would do a shot with you guys. I think all I have is wine and these little vagina drinks.
I love that.
Yeah, you got little white claws or something. What'd you have right there?
It's set up like a White Claw. It's a crook and marker.
Oh, yeah. It's still good.
They're good,
Well-
yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, pretend it's Jameson, and you could do
pretend.
Pickleback.
So I love picklebacks. It's my favorite shot.
Yep.
And this one's going to be on my new album, too.
Well, can I tell you a quick story? So at International, we don't have pickleback. We
Okay.
have beatback.
Beat
It's
back.
beet juice with hot sauce and stuff. And you take your Jameson, then you take that beet juice, and it's delicious.
Yeah, wakes you right up.
It wakes you right up. Like you're like, what the fuck?
Beet juice.
Juice.
Beetlejuice. We call it Beetlejuice.
Yeah, we call it Beetlejuice.
You
If
know what I
you're
hate about
in
that,
New York
though, is the
City,
next day I will inevitably go poop, and I will have purple poop, and I will think that I'm dying. That happens every time that happens. I forget that happens, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm bleeding. I'm dying.
Ah,
This is it. I
no.
finally drank myself to death.
Lee,
No.
you're
Only
amazing.
did
This is the
yesterday.
first. This is the first time we ever talked about purple poop.
poop,
You know?
poop.
I'm glad I could be here first. I am so glad I could be here first.
Awesome. Awesome.
Let's get
Pickleback.
I'm the girl that has like zero shame. So when I was in Girl Scouts as a kid, we had this like slumber party, right? So all the little Girl Scouts, I was like 6. We all had our little vests on. We're all sitting around in a circle telling stories. And I farted the loudest fart you've ever heard in your life. Like the house was shaking, right? And all the girls were like, oh my God, that's so gross. I can't believe you farted. And I was like, hey, I fart, you fart, everybody farts. It's okay. It's natural. And then by the end of the night, all these little Girl Scouts were just farting around because of me. Because I'm that girl.
Oh man, me and him are gonna split a ticket for a one-way trip for you to come here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Get your masks ready, guys.
Yeah, get your masks ready.
Let me tell you, you hang out here for 2 days, I'll take you to some of the finest horrible establishments.
Every dive bar.
Perfect. If you have customers you don't like, you let me know and I'll crop dust them for you.
All right, let's pickleback, baby.
Pickleback, baby. Cheers. Cheers to our beautiful.
Cheers,
Yes.
Cheers. It's Friday night and I'm feeling loose. I got a sexy little dress and cowboy boots. Taking a break from all my stress and hitting the bars down in Key West. I'm single, sexy, and feeling frisky. Kicking the night off with Irish whiskey. Glasses lined up, pour it in. We cracked a brand new bottle of Jameson. Cheers to sunshine and island splendor. Tiki's a cold beer and sexy bartenders. Whiskey to your lips, kiss that glass, slurp it down, then chase it with a pickleback. Hey, hey. Nothing back, we're sipping on whiskey and picklebacks. Hey, 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 hey. 2 shots and the music wails and I'm shaking my hips like a cocktail. My spirits up, came from a bottle. I'm in gear, going full throttle. There's too much blood in my alcohol, but I got a doctor who will fix it all. Hey bartender, pour me another one. I'm off tomorrow and the night is young. Cheers to sunshine and island splendor. Tiki's a cold beer and sexy bartenders. Whiskey to your lips, kiss that glass, slurp it down, then chase it with a pickleback. Hey, hey. Nothing back, we're sipping on whiskey and picklebacks. Hey, 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 hey.
Sipping on whiskey and pickleback.
You guys are making me thirsty with me playing this. Remember, every time you hear the word racist tonight, y'all have to do a shot.
We're gonna die.
You're gonna die. You probably will. There you go.
Burp. What's that?
Once I get a taste of whiskey, my bed is made. And I might not wake up alone at home tomorrow. Tonight I got a case of whiskey hip, so put that pretty little glass up to my lips, and you know what I want to taste it with, right? Cheers to sunshine and island splendor. Tiki's a cold beer and sexy bartenders. Whiskey to your lips, kiss that glass, slurp it down, then chase it with a pickleback. Hey, hey. Nothing back, we're sipping on whiskey and picklebacks. Hey, 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 hey.
Little Loretta Lynn going there.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was fantastic. That was
Thank
fantastic.
you. I've been told that my whiskey slurp also sounds like a bong, so something for everybody.
So I gotta tell you, now you gotta play the bomb song, the #1 viral song on the internet.
Most viral song on the internet.
Viral song,
The reason you're here,
because you are one bad motherfucker,
that's
and
right.
you got one bad motherfucking song, and it's "Fuck Your Feeling,"
Fuck your feelings.
and you need to go all out because you are a fucking rock star.
Thank you.
You got to be Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn rolled up in one here. Come on.
Somebody once told me I'm like Loretta Lynn on crack.
Yeah, I hear the Loretta Lynn in your voice, and
Yeah.
I'm a fan, so I know.
Let me ask you a question. You've probably been to Nashville. I love going to Nashville because I love the live music. I love going there once in a while. If you ever go to Nashville or anywhere near there, let me know because I would definitely take a trip and go there.
Oh, cool. I'm working on a tour this spring. I've been getting messages from a lot of venues. So yeah, if anybody's listening, owns a bar, reach out to me through my Facebook page.
Can you come? Can you come east over here? Can you make it to New York?
I do have a few contacts. I don't have my list, but yes, I do have contacts in New York and some other ones on the East Coast.
Let me tell you,
let us know about that.
Keep doing what you're doing because somebody's going to be like, you're a rock star. You got the look. You got the voice. You need to be on the top.
Thank you. I'm not all that marketable, but I am there.
No, there's a niche.
It's a niche for you. Trust me.
There is.
Don't never let yourself. Oh, I'm not. You know what? Controversy starts rating. The more controversy, the more people want to see it. Trust me. And that's all.
That's the reason why this song went viral, is because people are sick of the political correctness. They're sick of.
Yeah.
So.
And your song is gospel, and you're singing the way you sing it. Let's do this, girl.
Fuck your feelings.
Fuck your feelings.
We went from several generations of hardworking Americans to a bunch of young fucking wussies who live at home with their moms until they're fucking 31 and can't take a punch because they're pussies. Can't make them get a job even though they're all in debt, and they'll lecture you about being politically correct. They're crying and whining. It's gotten pretty scary. So here's a song for all the fucking fairies. Fuck your feelings. No one gives a fuck about your issues, your problems, your shitty fucking luck. This generation's fucked. A bunch of fucking weaklings. So wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. Yeah.
I love that song.
You can have them.
Woo!
You just don't want to hear about them. Screw who you want. It don't affect me, but we don't need 1,000 terms for your sexuality. We're so damned emotional, been crying for a while, but the world can't run on rainbows and unicorn smiles. There's a solution if you shut up and listen. Put the effort in a job that you're putting into, bitch, and suck it up, buttercup. Do this and you'll be fine. Grow a pair and wipe the tears from your vagina. And fuck your feelings. No one gives a fuck about your issues, your problems, your shitty fucking luck. This generation's fucked. A bunch of fucking weaklings. So wipe your tears and
fuck your fucking feelings.
Wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings.
It's great.
The timeout generation that needed the switch got participation trophies and trolled the internet. Social media warriors who sit at home and pout. Now these weenies want a bunch of fucking handouts. Fuck that and fuck your feelings. No one gives a fuck about your issues, your problems, your
rotten fucking luck.
This generation's fucked. A bunch of fucking weaklings. So wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. Sing it with me. Wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings.
I love it.
Just wipe your tears and fuck your
fucking feelings.
Wow. That's fucking great.
It's a masterpiece.
That's a masterpiece.
Thank you. You know the best thing about that song? I have a song I wrote a long time ago called Go Fuck Yourself, Motherfucker. And I was playing it at Sturgis, and I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, guess what? Some biker heard me sing Go Fuck Yourself, Motherfucker, and he bought a CD for every single person in the bar, and just made $1,000 in CD sales. And my dad was like, well, I really hope you get all your fucks out of your system while you're at Sturgis. That night, I wrote Fuck Your Feelings. And I got to call him like 3 days later and was like, Dad, guess what? I went viral. And it's called...
It's great.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
You know,
my dad is very proud of my sister.
I'm sure he is.
you know what's funny? You were in Sturridge and Fonzie, Chris Jericho was out there, and they had a guy called PJ Hardy that played out there too at Sturgis.
Oh,
Yeah, we just interviewed PJ Farley last week.
very cool.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really get to like explore much while I was there because I played 6-hour days, 9 days in a row. So I was mostly just playing music.
Let me tell you, you're one of the person that, dude, we're gonna be friends forever because I love you. I love what you're doing. I love your passion. Like you got that fire in your eye. You're gonna get there. It's gonna be a tough ride.
Big things for you.
But you definitely gonna be there. Just keep doing your craft. Keep keep preaching what you're preaching. There's always going to be an audience. Don't be scared about what people think. People can go fuck their feelings, pretty much.
Exactly. You know, let me ask you, what is the best way to get your music right now for everybody watching?
I have it on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon, Google Play, YouTube. It's
everywhere.
all over the place.
Everywhere.
If you search it, so it's Leigh Guest is Leigh, and then guest like a guest on your show.
Yeah.
I do have an album that's all uncensored. If you search Leigh Guest uncensored. I originally tried to split my life in two because I had a children's book, so I tried to have the regular and the uncensored, and now I just don't fucking care anymore.
You wrote a children's book?
Yeah.
I got
It's actually for kids too.
That's great.
You should have two names. You should have Leigh Guest and then Leigh or another for children's book, and you'll be fine.
Fucking Leigh Guest.
You know, I thought about doing the whole pen name thing, and then I didn't do it. But I have a children's book called Fred the Tree about a real tree down in the Keys growing out of a bridge.
Okay.
Oh, is that the tree of Captain Pony?
It's a tree. So if you're driving to Key West, when you cross the 7 Mile Bridge, there's a big tree. So yeah, I wrote a book about a tree. So I sort of split my music up, but now I'm kind of just merging it all together. So there's Leigh Guest and there's Leigh Guest Uncensored.
You're on Amazon too, though, right?
Yeah.
I saw you there.
No, but you know what's funny? I've been to Key West. I went to the Ugly Gecko. I went to Captain Tony. That there's this tree growing in the middle of the bar.
Oh,
I
that
know.
is
thing.
Yeah, I've been there.
And I went to Ernest Hemingway's place. I went to like the private bar. I went to Joe Crab's house. Cause Joe's Crab House, they fish the stuff and then they cook it for you right there. I love Key West. I've been there a few times. I go for the Fantasy Fest. Everybody goes crazy.
Oh yeah, we all get naked and run around town like a bunch of drunks.
You don't want to see me naked because it's very ugly. Like,
it's never the people you want to see naked that get naked.
There's a lot of him.
There's a lot of me. Children will cover their eyes. Baby cries when I kiss them in the cheeks.
But you know what? Fuck their feelings.
Fuck their feelings. Exactly.
Fuck them.
So how can people get in touch with you? How can people reach you out, get your music and whatever? I know you just said, but what is the best platform for people to follow you? Facebook, Twitter?
Facebook and Instagram are probably the best. I have not jumped on the Twitter bandwagon. I should. But Facebook and Instagram, which both of them, it's Leigh Guest. Also Leigh Guest Music on Facebook.
Because I want to put that when I put up the show on YouTube, I want to make sure I put all your links. I even put your YouTube channel so people can find you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You know, I will send as many. Anything you got a new project, anything you do, let him know, and I'll put you up there. I'll keep people updated because, hey, you're a freedom fighter. You're great.
And when you come to New York, you have a free seat here at the International Bar on First Avenue and 6th Street. Okay,
awesome.
We'll take care of you. There's a car.
I'm gonna come to New York and we're all gonna party and have drinks together.
Exactly. Come down.
Perfect. Thank you guys for having me.
Okay.
Hey, you were great. Thank you for the great music you play. And hey, I hope you take off.
I wish you the best.
I hope you're the rocket in the sky and you get all the glory and all the benefit because you, honey, are a rock star.
Thank you.
We love you here. And remember,
don't get drunk.
Get on top. See you next time.
Yeah. See you guys.